Welcome back. This week we continue working through the backward design process. 2 weeks ago we talked about learning objectives. Last week we talked about the assessment of learning. And this week we look at the design of learning experiences, the third phase in the backwards design process. Now, historically, I think if you look at STEM classrooms, the learning experiences that students had were often lectures. We probably experienced a lot of lectures in our own undergraduate coursework, and frankly, they probably kind of worked for us. If we're in PhD programs or faculty positions now, we probably got a lot out of those lectures, and in fact, continue to get a lot out of those lectures. I don't know what conferences are like in your discipline, Trina, but in mine, in mathematics, there's a lot of lecturing and presentations. Now, I think if I think about myself in that situation, though, as I go into a conference and hear a lecture on some mathematical topic, I've got two things going for me. One, I probably want to learn what they're talking about, right? So I've got a high degree of motivation. And two, I probably have a pretty reasonable background knowledge, so I can make sense of what the new information that's coming at me via lecture. Those two things are not always the case with our own students, though. And so when we think about designing learning experiences for our students, we've got to think beyond just the lecture. We've got to think about active learning.
Definitely, Derek. Active learning, when designed well, can really promote high-value time on task, which evidence shows is the way to really encourage deep learning for our students. And we're going to go to Boston University this week and hear from Bennett Goldberg, who's a professor of physics and director of STEM education initiatives there, as well as Catherine Spelios, who's a director of instructional labs and lecturer of biology. And they're going to talk us through how to design active learning experiences for our students in a way that builds in critical thinking and teamwork, which builds the skills that we want our students to gain from these active learning experiences. And one thing that's really neat about this week is that we have a lot of really concrete examples, case studies, footage of students in the classroom, because I don't know about you, Derek, but when I start thinking about this stuff, I really want to see really good examples of how to do this in the classroom. And so this week has a lot of that stuff, and so I'm really excited about it.